So today, cinematography tutorial. Here we go, welcome to the channel. Cinematography tutorial. It's a scene taken from Stranger Things Season 4. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen that season yet. We're gonna build the same lighting setup as you see here in this scene, step by step. I've made another cinematography tutorial lately on my channel about a scene from the Joker 2019, which went quite well, so that's why I was pushed to do another one and more coming. Last thing to mention, and then we dive into the tutorial. All the lights I will be using for this tutorial have been reviewed on my channel, so go and check them out, and also you will find the links to purchase them in the description tab. The particular scene we're going to explore was made originally in the TV series by 3 different camera angles. We're going to create a lighting setup which is matching the main camera angle I chose. We're also trying to match the other 2 camera angles with maybe small tweaks. First step, as mentioned in the other tutorial, I usually blind my windows. I want my room to be pitch black to be able to control the light and contain the light. Let's do that, and then I'm gonna turn my room's light off. As you can see, it's very yellow, really ugly. And we're gonna start by watching the first angle, camera angle of the TV series, and we will notice a key light. Now, this room is very clinical. The whole cinematography is very clinical, white, very bland as well, and soft. There's light spilling all over the room, and that light in particular comes from the ceiling lamps. We are lucky here because, again, we have wide angles in the same scene that show us where the lights are placed, and those are practical lights, mainly coming from the ceiling. But there is a trick. If you have a close-up, you will see where the lights are placed in the scene, usually by the reflection of those lights in the actor's eyes. If we zoom in, we will see a light on the right-hand side of the actor, because sometimes the cinematographers cheat, in particular when they change the angle of the camera and you cannot see the practical lights. So they actually recreate the mood they want, changing the settings of the lights and the positions of the lights. And that's what we're trying to do here, because again, I have a projected image at the back. Let's do that. That's my background recreated as in the picture here that you see from the TV series. This is going to be my position. Everything is already set in terms of props and my position. So I try to recreate the position of the actor as well. As you can see, projected image, which is made of light as well. Now, if I place my actual lights like in the TV series, this image will disappear because they're so strong, they're gonna spill all over the place and we can't see the background. That's the difficult part of making these tutorials, because we're not lighting up the environment, but just the subject, which is not what you wanna do essentially in cinematography. I mean, sometimes you do. So let's go with the key light. This is an example. If I placed a normal light in the room, my projection will disappear. Now, the key light, we're gonna use the Dewin Molus. This is the X100, 100 watts. I have reviewed it, go and check it out. Great and very versatile light. I love these Dewin lights, okay? I'm using a soft box with 2 layers of diffusion for now, and then we're gonna see if that's enough. But as you can see here, there's a reflector inside, silver reflector, and 2 layers of diffusion. Now, as I mentioned, the key light, especially in the close-ups of the actor, I think they are on the right-hand side to brighten up this part of the face. So what I have done here, I have a light stand on my right-hand side, and I'm going to mount the Dewin X100 on top of it, right here. bicolor light. We're gonna turn it on and we're gonna turn the background light off and see what's happening to my face as a starting point. So here I am, lit up only by the Dewin X100, right hand side. Okay, as you can see, it's quite harsh already on my cheek. The shadows are quite harsh. So we need to fix that somehow. The light is an arm and a half away from me, more or less. I can't place it further away because it's going on the trajectory of the projector. I can't place it closer because it's going to come into camera. So we need to keep in mind all these things in a small room. But still, if you are creative, you can get very close to what we are seeing in the original image. Also, you still see a bit of light spilling in the background now because it's literally spilling from here to the background. So we need to mask this side of the light too, so the light doesn't spill to the into the background. But first of all, I want to soften up the light a bit and the highlights. So what I'm gonna do, I've got literally just plain white paper. I don't know how you call this in English. We call it carta velina in Italian. Very light paper. Let me check it out for you. Well, they call it tissue paper, but it's not really tissue paper. It's the paper you might find in new shoes, for example. You know, the very thin paper. There you go. It works as a diffuser. You can see already. Look at this. Look at my face. Wow. Huh? Simple paper, guys. So I love doing this stuff because you can be so creative. So what I'm gonna do, I'm using pegs, normal pegs for hanging, and I place it in front of my light. And I've got a third one, which I'm gonna put at the bottom there. Lovely stuff. Let's test this out. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. I didn't use a grid actually on this light. The grid would help to direct the light, but it also enhances the contrast between highlights and shadows. And I don't want that because I want a really soft light, which is already quite hard to get with this setup. That's why. So you might want to have a black flag, which helps to contain the spill of the light. I have a white board, which is simply a sign I made years ago for my clothing brand. This also could reflect the light. Look at this. If I place it on my left-hand side, look at my face. If I move it, see? You can use all this stuff, guys, that you have in your house to create great content, okay? So what we're gonna do, again, I don't have a black thing, but I could place some black fabric on top of it, or simply use the darker side of the board, and I place it here. And again, look at the difference it makes to the background. You see there? See the purple and the blue? We just need to cover that spill, okay? So I'll place it here, but I need to be careful it doesn't cover my background and it doesn't come into camera. You got all these tricky things to think about. Okay, that's not enough, so I'm gonna use the fabric to cover the top part of the light. This is what it looks so far. The fabric on top of the softbox is a bit heavy and it's not covering the part of the light I want. So I needed something light to hold the fabric, like a stick or a chopstick. I live with a Japanese flatmate. Let's make the most out of it. Be creative. Here, you see the difference here. There, there. So what we're gonna do is just to place a peg here to hold the fabric. I'm checking the original image. Still a bit harsh here. I don't think I can do much more about that, but we can blend the light by adding a reflector on this side. Now for the fill here on this side, the reflector, I'm gonna place a stand to my left hand side here somewhere, and then we're gonna move it. Standard Amazon light stand, very cheap, very light, that's all you need. Okay, so guys, apart from the lights, which I am lucky and I collaborate with brands, so they send it for free. But for this shoot, I spent £5. Guess for what? For the hairspray. To be in character. Reflector, where is it? Again, one of those cheap things from Amazon. That's how it works. Beep, beep, spilling the light. Easy, beep, beep, beep. What I'm gonna do here, and again, I try to be creative. I don't have many clamps and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to fit my reflector between the two knobs of the actual stand. And let's have a look at the difference now. Wow, you see already, look at that. It looks much more similar. As a creative point of view, that was my interpretation of the shot as well. This guy might have a reflector on this side of the face. You can see a bit of light here, but that might be also from the shirt, the white shirt. But also I think the silver gives me something a bit, in Italian we call it soprannaturale. So I like the silver tone a little. And if I move it, look at this. Look what it does to my face. If we move it, we spin it, look how it changes. From there to here. I don't want it to be too much, too light. If I get closer, I get brighter. Go further away, darker, okay? So I want it somewhere there. I think it's pretty good. There's a bit of reflection here, which I like, similar to that one. I'm happy. We might be able to get rid of the harshness of this light with the lights from above, from the ceiling, which are our headlights. We're gonna do it now. To avoid to contaminate my background, my projection with the spilling of the light, I have also covered my furniture and my bed, which are white. So there's not reflection from the furniture either. For the top lights, I've got the Inky Air G30, which I have reviewed in the Joker cinematography tutorial. So these are useful because I rebuilt my frame overhead and they are magnetic, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna attach, we start with one, see if that's enough. In terms of temperature, guys, I'm actually going to 6,000 Kelvin, 5% of power. I literally place it above my head and start seeing if that could work. See how it blends already? Here it's not as, it doesn't seem as harsh as it was before, because it brings more light a bit everywhere. Now I've got the same issues as before, which is the spilling. So we need to create that flag that can cover that. Look at the difference in the background. Without, with my shoulders are lit, which I like. We can see a similarity having this side of the face lit as well with the character. We have a bit of light here above the left eyebrows, exactly like that. A bit of cheekbone here as well, highlight, which is great. So we are getting quite close actually. In terms of hair light, there's a bit of more hair light here at the back, as you can see in the original image. So I'm gonna add a second light, a bit lower power, I think, but same temperature behind. Okay, so maybe 3%. Let's see if I placed it here. Wow, look at how it changes. Like that and like this. It brings a bit more light here. So I might need to cover a bit of that. And I've got my second piece of fabric. which I'm gonna place as the other one, and then I might close a certain part of it so it doesn't spill on my forehead that much. Okay, I like that. Now we need to find this bit where it goes on my forehead and cover it up, something like that, so it stays on my hair but it doesn't go on my face too much. And I literally put another peg right here. Perfect spot there. Yeah, he might have a bit more light at the back, which is actually the light you see here, but mine is fake, so I can't really fake it unless I place a light at the back, which I could do. That's my spotlight, which is a Jewin 60 watts, great light. I love this stuff with a spotlight adapter on top. Okay, I actually placed the paper in front of the light at the back, the 60 watts, just one layer of paper, and it gives me this separation here. Look at that. If I cover, you see the highlights, which is more similar to what this guy has. Once again, light was spilling, so pillow cover it is. I'm still missing, I think, a bit of blending here. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is just taking the script. I have 2 sheets of paper, place it here under my chin, and they are reflecting the light from the top. And now the light is blending a bit more. See, when I remove them, check my neck. Look at the difference. Back in, if I bring it closer. Right? So I'm gonna drop it here, just to have a bit of spill. There. And we might need a bit of color correction, a bit of green tint later to actually match, as you can see on the shirt and on the whites. Okay, I think it's costume time and performance time. Tu is still in the infirmary, recovering. He's being watched now. But once he's released, he and the others are gonna attempt to kill you. Right here in this room. And Papa will allow it to happen. That was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial once again. If you want to see more, and if you have any idea of scenes I could reproduce in my room, let me know. That would be a good challenge and fun time. Hope you're going to join the channel. Hope you're going to join my performing channel as well, because there's a lot of stuff there too. And that's what I want to do more in my life, to be honest. If you're producing films and stuff, if you need an actor, get in touch. Or if you need videos made as well, that's still my job. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Ciao.